We're in the lab here today at Diverse Dimensions, and we're going to be measuring up some of these quarter glass pieces here from a local manufacturer. They actually take this piece of glass and encapsulate it with this rubber piece here, and also add these little datum pins on the back side here. Well, we've done the left hand side. We've done some measurement on this piece already. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to mirror this over to the right hand side, since we only had the left hand side CAD model from our client. And what we'd like to do though is there's a couple different ways to mirror this CAD on over. You could do it underneath this CAD tab here, and then you can right click on the model to pull the properties. Or what you can do is under the Home tab, you can see this right here, this other tab here called Part Properties. So let's click on that, and it'll show the exact same dialog box that was under this CAD portion here. So what we've got is this model, which is the left hand side. What we can do is we can mirror it by checking on this dialog here, and this is the default that CAM2 comes up with, is this mirror on the Y value. The Y is the typical automotive center line, or the Y value, so it's kind of a default for CAM2 which is nice. So I don't want to change that value by any value here. I just want it to symmetrically mirror that part around the Y value. So I'll say OK to that, and it's going to take a few seconds here, so I'll fast forward through that for you. Okay, you can kind of see the part jump back on over to this side. I'll zoom out a little bit and just rotate around a little bit. So here's the trihedron. This is showing the vehicle position, and typically what we'd see is that quarter glass would have been on this side. I'm kind of looking down from the top of the vehicle. So now that mirror, or that quarter glass, has mirrored over to the right hand side of the vehicle. So I'll zoom in on that. And that is what we have, is we're actually looking from the inside of the vehicle at the back side of that quarter glass. And then this would be the outside. So that's an easy way to mirror your part on over. What we don't have is the ability here though in CAM2 to retain the information from the original CAD part. And we don't have the ability here to change the name of that as well. So if you did have to do a mirror and keep the original data, what I would suggest is to go into the Windows Explorer, make a copy of that model, and maybe change the name to a right or a left or whatever you're doing. And then when you pull that model in and do the mirror, that name would have something like a right hand in the designation here. That just makes it easier to keep a difference between the two left and right parts. And then what you do is you could come back in and do another file import of the CAD model. That would be, let me go grab it here a second. That would be the left hand part. I'll let this pull this model on in. And there both models came on into the same FCD file. So there's my right and my left hand quarter glasses. If you did need to retain that information, you would have to re-pull that in, since Faro doesn't give the ability to keep the original model in there. So, but not so bad to do that. But again, the name will not change as you're mirroring that over, and you can't change that name on in here. So just do that in the Windows Explorer before you import that model in, and you should be all set.